Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. My name is Carla Fitz. I'm a certified life coach, wife, and mom of two beautiful little girls. My hope for this podcast is to offer support and empower other Catholic women to live their most authentic life. To share life coaching tools from a Catholic perspective in order to help you live a more fulfilling life filled with peace, joy, and abundance. Let's get started. Hello, my loves, and welcome to this episode. I am so excited, so blessed to be here with you guys. This past episode that I did on my own, not the last interview, but by myself, I talked a little bit about romanticizing your life. And so I thought it would be a really fun episode to put together for all of you so that you know what in the world I'm talking about. If I left any of you like, what is she talking about, romanticizing her life? This is actually a concept that I heard much later in life, but I was doing naturally in my day to day life and I didn't know about it. So basically, what romanticizing your life means is enjoying the little things, making every moment count, making as many moments in your life feel joyful, enjoyable, cozy. It fills your heart. I have a hard time sometimes putting this into words, but it's basically warming up your life so that it feels cozy and beautiful. One of the things, for example, that a lot of people love to do is bring into our homes flowers, fresh flowers, a bouquet, just having something that is beautiful to your eyes. And then every time you see it, it brings joy to your life. But for me, I do love bringing in fresh flowers and seeing those on top of my island in the kitchen. But one of the things for me is actually, it started a long time ago. So it started back in the day when I was a child. And my favorite thing to do was redecorate our room. My sister and I shared room, not on purpose. Um, she had her room, but she just liked to be in my room. But I really liked redecorating that room. And I was talking to a friend a few years ago, and she was saying how every single person has a version of artistic self within them. And I remember thinking, huh, what are you talking about? Because I am not artistic. And the way I was thinking about it was like my gorgeous sister. I have a sister who's an artist and she paints and she does amazing, beautiful paintings. And that's what I was thinking of. And what she helped me realize is that I have an artistic side because I sing for one. Um, but even doing these episodes, this podcast, that's an artistic side of me as well. But there is also an artistic part of me that focuses on a visual. And that visual for me comes through decorating. It comes through creating cozy, beautiful spaces. And our life is that space. That is something that, if you think of decorating your home, it's easier to imagine how you can romanticize your home so that it feels warm and fuzzy and cozy inside of it, if that's what you want it to feel like. For me, a priority in our home is keeping it simple. So downstairs, I have white walls. We have a lot of wood in the house, and I have a lot of green, beautiful plants, just to keep it cozy and simple. Because when we over decorate, at least for me, it brings stress into my life. I feel anxious. And so the more I simplify my space in our home, the more enjoyable it feels, the more light and airy it feels. That is a way of romanticizing your life. However, every single thing that you do in your life, you can romanticize. And the way I started thinking about this was actually how we start our morning. My husband and I we went from having a simple coffee pot, like just coffee, just plain black, simple coffee, um, with like the creamer, the sugary creamer. This was years ago. I barely remember. Uh, but then we started wanting to feel more fulfilled. We're like, how can we make this coffee thing more enjoyable? Because coffee just did not taste like home. Back in Venezuela, we have really, really good coffee. And the way we serve it is very much on the Italian side of a cappuccino or a latte. And I wanted that. I was like, how can we make this more enjoyable? And my husband started researching. Anyhow, not the point of the podcast. We ended up with a small mocha pot. It is a little mocha pot. It makes 4 cups of coffee and it makes espressos. And so then my husband went into all this research of, oh, what kind of coffee is better. So we started making this thing in the morning, this routine in the morning, where we don't just push a button. We actually have to open the mocha pot, fill it up with water, put the coffee inside, tighten it, put it on the stove, and wait for that smell to come out of that pot. It is so good. It's so beautiful. And it creates this sense of coziness and warmth in our life. And I know it might sound silly, but it brings so much joy in our lives. And then right after that, I started doing something else. I started romanticizing my coffee time. If you guys don't like coffee, I'm so sorry. I am insanely in love with coffee and I have no shame about it. I love coffee. Anyhow, so what I started doing in order to bring this feeling of coziness and joy into my life was actually implementing the same thing of like slowing down and appreciating that moment and savoring the moment into the activities that I'm doing in my life. Example, first thing I do in the morning is I grab my coffee that my husband made that morning and I grab my very favorite mug. I have 2 mugs that I love. I used to have like 10 and I simplified it because it stressed me out to pick every single morning. And so I was just like, how can I simplify this? And if I could only keep 2 mugs, which one would it be? And I have 2 mugs that I love. One of them is chipped, but I love it so much. So much joy. So I fill my mug and I smell it. I pause to smell the coffee. And then once I sit down by my favorite window in the house. I get cozied up and I turn on Hallow. If you do not know Hallow, I'm not promoting it, but please go check it out. It is the Catholic app to pray. It's beautiful. And I turn on the Hallow app, listen to my prayers, and then I do some reading just to connect with God and silence my life and center my life with Him first thing in the morning. But that moment isn't just a rush. Okay, let's get prayers, let's just sit and do the prayers. It's not like that. I have made it slow enough and pretty enough and cozy enough that it fills my heart with joy. You can do this with everything. Whether that is playing with your kids, whether that is your drives, what music do you listen to, your walks, what are you thinking about? Are you disconnecting? You can do it with reading time. That's another thing that I love to do is turning on some, especially when it gets chilly outside. I love to turn on the fire. And if you don't have a fireplace, turn on your TV with a fireplace and just sit there and enjoy the coziness of having a book in your hands and slowing down. What it does is create a sense of joy now. In that moment, you are not thinking about what's next. You are enjoying your life as it is because you realize that you're able to bring beauty into your day to day life. Bring it into your conversations. Sit down with your husband. And for us, it's like, let's have coffee together on Sunday mornings and chat and pray together at nighttime, all cozied up in our bed. Really pause and ask yourself, how can I make my life more enjoyable now? And it can be as simple as making a beautiful, slow made pot of coffee. Nothing quick, slowly. It can be grabbing a book. Make that romanticizing of your life your own beautiful creation with God. I always think of God was not in a hurry. He was calm. He spent time in quiet time. And he enjoyed every single day that he got on earth. He saw the blessings around him. And I think that is something that when you start romanticizing your life, you can really see. You can see the warmth of everything. One of my favorite seasons is actually fall because the colors warm up. Everything gets colder, and it's the season to be wearing light sweaters. You're not quite in winter yet, but you're also not in summer. And it smells beautiful outside. and you can decorate the way you want to decorate. And it doesn't have to be something overwhelming or ginormous. I have like, I think it's like 4 pumpkins that I put out in the fall. And it's a very simple decoration, and I know what to expect, but enjoying that moment. Put your favorite music, savor the moment. I always think of somebody said this, that you can either eat a cake or you can savor a cake. You can receive a cake. And I think that's something that we need to do in our day-to-day living. We can either live and get through with a day and be done, or we can really savor and receive that day. So I think romanticizing your life can really be a gift in your life to just simply change the perspective of your life. Look around. How's your space? Do you feel joyful, peaceful, happy in your home, in your office? I've romanticized my office by adding just a soft light behind me and a couch and some twinkle lights everywhere. And not everywhere, just on top of my bookshelf. And sitting by the window and creating the space that brings joy to my life. Do this in everything that you do. When you go to holy hour, spend some time in quiet time and take a journal and savor the moment. Have some quiet music or be in silence. But create this life where you feel fulfilled, where you feel more joyful, where you are not missing any minute, and instead, you are savoring every single instant in your life. Again, if this stresses you out, don't do it. Just keep it simple. Make it your own. There's no one right way to romanticize your life. I don't think. Every person has a different way to decorate. Some decorations will empower and calm people down, and some decorations will not, but it empowers and calms down that particular person who lives in that home. It is your choice. However, if there's anything that I would advise you to do, is simplify. Simplify and slow down. You will see wonders, amazing changes happening in your life when you learn to simplify and slow down your life. When you are not in such a hurry to get over with the day, but instead you are romanticizing your day. All right, my loves, I hope this made sense. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having an amazing, beautiful, blessed week. And until next time, God bless. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to be part of this community. If you are enjoying these episodes, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that you are notified the next time the episodes come out. Also, right now, I have some spots open to work with me one-on-one. This program will change your life. I 100% believe that without God, we can't. But without us, God won't. I will help you step into your power. I will help you take the actions that you need to take in order for you to create the most fulfilling and aligned life. A life that feels aligned with you and with God. And that life is available to you right now. Check the link in the description to reserve a time to chat with me. I will see you then.